Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I've done a book review, but yeah, so today's video, Ms. Marvel Stretched Thin. Written by Nadia Shammas, illustrated by Nabi H. Ali. It's also got layout by Jeffo, and lettering by VC's Joe Caramagna. I believe VC is virtual calligraphy. Yeah, Joe Caramagna. Um, this is a middle grade graphic novel published by Scholastic. Uh, and Scholastic, yay! Yeah, love Scholastic. Brings me back to really brings me back to childhood, being going to Scholastic book fairs. Anyway, so yeah, middle grade graphic novel focused on character of Ms. Marvel, uh, who has definitely made an impact in the few years that she's been around. Uh, so this book, the short summary of it is that she is balancing all her responsibilities. Uh, being a superhero, going to school, spending time with her family, spending time with her friends, writing fanfics because she's a fanfic writer. Uh, all stuff, doing all sorts of stuff, doing more than she can really handle, and then she has to start dealing with an evil robot on top of all that. And so yeah, all the you know doing too many things, stretched thin, uh, and because her power is shape shifting of a sort, stretching and morphing her body a little bit. Her stress and fatigue is causing her to occasionally lose control of her powers, so she'll have body parts get too big or get too small, things like that. So thus, again, being literally stretched thin. Hurrah! It's a pun. Anyway, so yeah, the plot is about her dealing with a robot, but the story is really about the dangers of trying to do too many things at once, trying to handle too many things at once on your own without asking for help, and the value of being able to rely on friends and family to back you up through all the responsibilities that you take on yourself, um, which is harder said than done, or easier said than done. Uh, with this being a middle grade book, it is aimed at younger readers. Uh, it's pretty clearly set in its own continuity, so it doesn't really require much in the way of knowledge of the rest of the Marvel universe. There's occasional nods here and there. It's mentioned that she got her powers from Terrigen mists, which is how she got her powers in the comics. There's a few other heroes who show up here. Uh, Miles Morales and Miles Morales Spider Man is minor supporting character. Squirrel Girl, another minor supporting character. Tony Stark, minor supporting character. So there are a few Marvel characters who are present, but they are less important than her regular supporting cast, uh, her friends and her family. Um, on the cover, she's sitting there protecting her baby brother, Malik. Um, a major conflict is, the ways that Kamala keeps disappointing her mother. Uh, Her best friends, Nakia and Bruno, are present throughout the story, big throughout the story. Uh, more than more than they were in some of her own solo runs, honestly. Uh, and I love Nakia and Bruno. I love them being here. They're great characters. Nakia especially. Side note: while this is a middle grade novel, it doesn't stop Nakia from talking about how awful capitalism is. Which I love Nakia. She's so great. Uh, One of the major things about Kamala Khan is her Muslim origin, her the fact that she is a Muslim. It was actually pretty key to why she was created in the first place. Um, Editor Sana Amanat and Steve Wacker happened to be having a conversation about and the lack of Muslim superheroes uh, came up, and they were talking about that and decided, oh, well, let's make a Muslim superhero, and that's sort of how they and that's sort of how Ms. Marvel started to be created. So she was created specifically for the sake of having creating a Muslim superhero, and it's definitely always been central to her character. And this book does definitely have a lot of authentic Muslim elements. And just like certain terms that get used, uh, Abu and Ami instead of dad and mom. Uh, Nakia calls Kamala's mom Auntie, which is a nice touch that is very much an Eastern thing. Both, even Central Asian um, thing. So, yeah, little things like that that get present. One thing I will. In addition to the rants about capitalism, or when not rants, but in addition to the comments about capitalism, the book does also caution about the dangers of putting too much personal information online, which is definitely a worthwhile lesson for the age group that this book is aimed at. There are points where Kamala does come across a little clueless. In particular, early on, she fights a robot, and then a few pages later, doesn't recognize an action figure that looks exactly identical to that same robot, and thinks nothing of it. Thinks so little of it that she gives that action figure that looks exactly the same as the robot she just fought to her little brother, her baby brother. That is kind of a weird thing, but oh well. Uh, I can sort of headcanon it away a little bit as, her not getting that great a look at the robot during the fight. But whatever. Like I said, that's the biggest problem in the book is that bit of her not recognizing the action figure. Uh, Beyond that, I mean, it's great book, great character work for everyone involved, for both Kamala, her supporting cast, um, the other heroes. Miles and Squirrel Girl don't get a lot to do, but they are cool while they're there. And Squirrel Girl does get a couple of sort of scene stealing moments because she's Squirrel Girl and she's awesome. Um, really nice seeing Kamala interacting with her family. I always love seeing that stuff. Um, really happy to see Nakia get a nice bit of focus because, again, I absolutely love her. And the art is gorgeous in this book. Um, Ali does really good work. It's a really interesting art style. Very cartoonish and just show it. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Good expression work here. Yeah, really good expression work in panels like this one. Uh, yeah, you get panels like this that are just full of charm. Love this splash page here. That's just, yeah, so lovely. Even if I can't get a good... Using webcam, it's hard to get good work of this. Also, there's some nice banter here between Kamala and Miles. Yeah, so Iron Man has everyone sort of updating their status in different parts of the city. So Kamala says Jersey City all clear. And I was like, yeah, that's because everyone's still at work in Midtown. Kamala says, don't you even start on Jersey jokes, which is a running gag. Not like just in this book, but like with Kamala as a character, because she's from Jersey City, which is another big part of her character. Actually, is the fact that she's from Jersey City, and dealing with people making fun of Jersey City is sort of a running theme with her. Yeah, Miles says to name one good thing to come out of New Jersey. Kamala points out My Chemical Romance, and Iron Man interrupts their bickering to say, play nice, both Jersey City and Brooklyn are both unique and special gentrified snowflakes. Which, that's pretty good. Miles, of course, being from Brooklyn. So, yeah, I do like that bit. And, again, just like really good expression work. Really like the way that Ellie does the expressions. There's a really, yeah, I love this, and this layout is fantastic. Just showing her across 2 days, or across, yeah, a couple days. So yeah, this page is sort of her trying to function properly. You know, foot's a little bit big, but nothing to handle, nothing too big. She's struggling to stay awake in class. She's struggling to stay awake during training. She's picking up her brother. She's writing her fan fictions. She's talking to her mother. And then there's the second page, where her whole body's coming apart. She's sleeping in class. She's getting her ass kicked in training. She tries to take the wrong child. And, yeah, there's a face. And that's a face we can all relate to, you know? Uh, yeah, I wish I could wish I could figure out how to get this camera to change its focus a little bit. I'll need to work on figure that out. But yeah, this has some of my favorite Nakia dialogue here. It says it's not your fault that Machine Smith used info online to figure it out. We live in a corporate nightmare world where companies collect literally every piece of info on you. Yes, even Stark Tech. Also, Machine Smith literally lives on the internet, so let's assume privacy is not an issue for him. I just love that. I love her just straight up saying that, corporations are creepy and evil. I really love that. So yeah, I mean, and earlier on in the very early on as well, Naki also calls out some pull yourself up by your bootstraps capitalist nonsense. I love Nakia. She's just the best. Anyway, so yeah, it's the art is just absolutely gorgeous. The writing is a lot of fun, and while it's not a perfect story by any means, it does have some problems in terms of logic. Uh, it's also written for kids in middle grade. So, it doesn't necessarily need to be as it's allowed to have a couple of flaws like that. Yes, it would have been a better story without them, but at the same time, the audience it's aimed at does change what is going to appear in it. So, like Kamala not realizing that the robot she fought is the same as the action figure she received. Anything above middle grade, that would be a major problem. It would be a major storytelling problem. In a middle grade story, it's kind of acceptable. It is. It is something that actually does make sense at this reading level. Not narrative sense, but I don't know. It's the sort of thing that that fits a middle grade novel, and I've no doubt that Shammas and Ali and the editors realized that it would look ridiculous to older readers, but they were gearing it towards middle grade readers, and the reality is narratives are going to be different there. There's going to be certain tropes that are going to be different, certain tools that will be different at that level. So I suspect that for most middle grade readers, they're not going to have a problem with that. But anyway, yeah. So I really liked this. I really liked this book. It's a great read. I mean, I love Ms. Marvel to begin with, so make sense that I was going to enjoy this. But yeah, I really liked it. And man, Navi HLE, man, that art is just something else. I am truly impressed with the art here. This is some absolutely beautiful, beautiful art. Um, Very expressive, very emotive, great colors, um, and gorgeous colors. And also some pretty nice, occasional nice little references in the background. Um, can't see that. Penny Parker poster in Bruno's bedroom. Apparently he's a fan of. Apparently he's a fan of Penny Parker, who you may remember from Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, there's a few little background things like that. Oh, there's also pals at the table, as apparently is referenced. And okay, this is a very late page spoiler, but it's one that I feel is crucial. Just one of the most important panels in the book. Hi, I'm Doreen. I've got brownies. I love Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl's great. Yeah, that. So yeah, that was Squirrel Girl saying that. Anyway, if you're looking for a fun, easy, a fun, straightforward comic for yourself, or more important, for any kids in your life, Ms. Marvel, Stretched Thin, definitely worth checking out. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.